Okay, it's kicking in right now.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm not saying hello to you.
Just keep saying hello.
I'm saying hello to the people. The people out there.
Which people?
Say hello. He says, I see no people.
There are people there.
People. Hello, people.
Are there any people there?
Stop.
All right, let me get that pinned comment up.
Welcome, everybody. It is Monday evening, and I'm Robin. This is Bill the Shoulder.
Bill the Shoulder.
That's his thug name, Bill the Shoulder.
Wow.
And we are from Raincross Farms Makery, and this is Duke, and Daisy is putting in somewhat of an appearance tonight. Look up there, baby. Look up there, baby girl. Say hello.
Beverly's with us tonight, and
So
Ken is saying
welcome
hello.
everybody, and let me pull up see if I can get it on my phone so I can kind of see comments here and there.
There and there and everywhere.
Here and there. There we go. Turn down my volume.
Here, there,
Welcome everybody.
All righty.
Did everybody have a good Monday?
I had a great Monday
had a
because I
good Monday.
spent most of the day in bed.
Yes, he had a headache that we
Bad
think
headache.
now is due to the wind that just started. So, but here we are, and we are ready to craft.
Hi,
Hello, Alana. How are you?
See, I want to pop that one out.
Hello, Tallulabelle. How are your chickens doing?
Yeah, you want chicken.
Ours have stopped laying because they have decided to molt, I guess. So we have a few eggs that we are hanging on to until they start laying again.
You know, I was just looking. We still have all those glassed eggs to use. So any kind of baking, that's what we need to be using.
Okay. Well, Duke, you ready to switch laps? You ready to switch laps?
Come here, buddy.
Over to Dad.
Come on.
Okay.
There's my boy.
Howdy, howdy. As of right before we went live, we had 611 followers, so we're inching up there, trying to get to 1,000 by Christmas Eve. Not Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. It would be nice to have it by Christmas Eve. Hey, Martha, welcome.
Hey, Daisy, you were told you're looking good.
Yes,
You're a
you
pretty
are looking
girl.
good. Okay, so tonight, as of about an hour ago, this was not the craft I was going to present, and I just was not feeling what I had planned. It just didn't sit right, and so within the last 45 minutes, I completely changed it all up, and he had no clue. I just walked in and said, "We're not doing that anymore." So we're not doing that anymore. We'll do it later, but tonight we are going to. Chickens are great, still laying. When you get a chance, you should see my post. I will take a look. Eggs galore. That's good. Hi, Nanette. Okay, well, tonight, it seems like you people, hi, Cheryl. Oh, good. Somebody who knows what egg glassing is. Some people around here are like, what? What freaky thing are you doing? It works. It's old fashioned, but it works. Anyway,
And they're good for baking, especially.
Yeah, well, they're good for scrambled too,
Yeah, but they
not for hard boiled.
not like fresh eggs, though.
Right. Okay, so you guys seem to like gift ideas for Christmas, and it doesn't have to be for Christmas. It could be for Thanksgiving. It could be for any time. So I've got some ideas for you of gifts in a jar. So you've probably seen these. So here is chocolate chip cookie mix in a pint jar. I have a gazillion of these canning jars, and so I think a lot of people are going to be getting these for me. So this is, again, chocolate chip cookie mix in a jar. Basically, you give it to them and you print out a little recipe card, maybe something a little bit bigger than this, but they have to add like an egg and butter and all the rest of this, and then they can make a little batch of chocolate chip cookies. Cute idea. Or hot cocoa mix in a jar. Okay. Or, oh, I didn't set that one. Okay. Or maybe you make your own salsa.
And that's
you
really
want,
good
and you
salsa,
want to
by the
gift
way.
it. So, or maybe you make your own peach jam. You can you can gift it in a jar. This one I think is kind of my favorite. I didn't set it up right.
Yeah, but you keep reaching into it.
Okay. No, well, this is special. So it looks like a jar of M&Ms, right?
That's what it looks like to me.
I need the overhead camera here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I wasn't think we were there yet.
Okay, this is fun.
Go this way with it.
Okay, so you open it up and
That's like regular.
You take it's not so you can put fewer M&Ms in the jar, or they're counting. They're guessing how many, but it's like a little secret hiding place if you wanted to give some cash, or I think if you kind of stretch that's just an empty toilet paper tube. And if you stretch that out, I think you could put a gift card in there too. So they think, whoa, how cheap. You just gave me a jar of M&Ms, but inside something fancy. So use that as you see
What, a
fit.
toilet paper roll is it fancy?
Well, it's what would be inside. And that
Oh.
I meant to put something in there.
You know, it used to be you could just put a roll of toilet paper in there. And
Yeah,
everybody
last
would be
year
excited.
you could have just put the toilet paper. But anyway, so gifts in a jar. I've got a ton of ideas, but we want to fancy them up because that looks pretty boring, right? So of course we are going to make something fancy to go on top. So
Of course, because we always do extra.
okay. So what I'm going to do is I have some fabric that I used, and I'm cutting it out a little bit bigger than the jar. So if you want to know, because you don't have to use canning jars, but if you want to use the wide mouth, you kind of need it to go down a little bit. So you basically need about a 6-inch circle for the wide mouth.
That's some accurate measuring right there.
And the regular mouth is maybe 5.5 inches, 5.5 inches. So your next project is to scour through your kitchen with a ruler,
No, you gotta stay over here, buddy.
finding something round that is 6 inches in diameter or 5 inches in diameter. So you're checking the Cool Whip lids, you're checking the bowls, and so you find one. So I found one here, and this one is just about 5.5, and then this one is just under 5. So I can kind of cut it a little generous. And so these are going to be your templates. Or you could get really fancy and get a compass and draw your own circle, or not. So get you some fabric, and it doesn't have to be plain, but if you do have plain, I have some transfers that we can dress these up with. Well, but you could get fancy printed fabric. This is just cotton. I believe these are just fat quarters. And let's see, I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to take a pencil, and I'm just going to trace around the outside of my circle, whatever that is, whether it's a sauce plate or a bowl or a jar lid.
To Little Bill, that is our Tupperware.
Pretty much.
She says Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
She thought she was the only one.
No,
ma'am.
no. You're talking to 2 children of parents who lived through the Depression. So we grew up reusing bread bags.
Yeah, your mom would take it to an extreme. We had with your mom, we had plastic bags that she would wash out and reuse.
Wash them out and reuse them.
And we had
Hang
rubber
them on the
bands
line.
for days from her. They so old they would just fall apart when you try to use them.
But she had to save them. So bless her
And
heart,
why?
she owned her own home outright and had no debt.
Smart
and
woman.
Can't fault her for that. Okay, so I've got these circles traced, and now I'm going to try to remember where I put my pinking shears. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to use pinking shears and cut around these. This will kind of help it from fraying.
It also looks fancy.
A little bit of fraying is okay, but a lot of it just doesn't look good. So I'm just going to cut around these. And my circles were just a tiny bit small, so I'm kind of cutting around the outside of that circle. Easy peasy. So are you thinking about who you could give a gift in a jar to? Maybe you have office people, office workers that you want to get a little something for. Maybe
or you could ship them to Idaho.
You could ship them to Idaho. Maybe you have your children's or grandchildren's teachers that you want to give a little gift to. Lots and lots of ideas.
You know, the best part about a Cool Whip tub being your favorite Tupperware is you can send it to somebody else's house. You don't get it back. You don't freak
care.
out about it. It's like, that works.
Yep.
Now,
okay. So I'm going to pretend I cut out more of them, but you don't need to watch me doing that. So here are the ones that I've cut out. Okay, am I missing any comments?
oh, I was just reading them to you.
We're going to tell about yes, yes, you never knew. Okay, so the transfers I'm going to use tonight are some of my favorites, the old standbys. This is our Christmas minis. It's a set of 12, just perfect size for the canning jars lids. Okay, that one's a little snug, but that's okay. We can make it work. Okay. So 12 different Christmas designs. So this is Christmas minis. And also I just love the Christmas all around transfers with the tree and the deer and the gift and the hot cocoa. So we're going to squeeze these into one of these. They don't quite fit. The entire design doesn't fit.
Yeah,
but if you just do the inside of it, so don't do the words, just that little graphic in there will fit perfectly. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a couple of these and we'll show you how we can dress them up.
Oh, because you always do extra, huh?
I'm going to use ink. You don't have to, because these are probably not gonna, you're probably not gonna stick them in the washing machine. So paste would work, but I'm gonna use ink just in case you want to make them permanent. Okay, so I'm just going to lay these down on my ink mat. Okay, my ink mat is just a sticky plastic mat, flexible, a lot like a Cricut mat. If you don't have one, that's not a big deal. You could just use cardboard or several pieces of paper. It's got fuzzies underneath it. But what's handy is that these are sticky, so it holds the fabric in place, so it doesn't shift around when I'm pasting. But again, not absolutely necessary, but you do want something underneath it in case the ink bleeds through. You don't want to ruin your good table or your good tablecloth or whatever is underneath it. So, okay, so I've kind of got those laid down, and I'm going to pick a couple of these. Now, like I said, not all of these fit really, really well on the small, but this Noel does fit. So I'm going to use Noel. And I'm going to try to get...
misspelled Christmas song.
You know what? Noel. Okay. I'm going to kind of crease this so I can see where my center is.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Patty. Hey, Gloria. I don't think we've said hello to you. Great idea about the M&Ms. What guy? That funny guy?
Who, Duke?
I think she's talking about you. Okay.
It's Big Duke. He's the funny one. Funny looking.
Okay. So I think that's... doesn't have to be totally centered because I can shift it a little bit underneath the cap. And if you don't use the mason jars, that's fine too. Any jar will work. It's just that this is handy because you can put the ring over the top, but you
Almost
could just
open.
completely put this whole thing over the top and it would work just the same. Okay. What else? What else kind of fits? That's kind of small. That doesn't quite. How about
Any votes?
Happy Holidays?
Any votes? See when you want done. Now she's working the small one. The next
I'm
one will
working
be
the small
larger.
ones. Yeah, I'm going to use the big.
You use the
I'm
big
going to
one
use
on
the
one of
big
them, right?
ones. Okay, so that mostly fits. Okay, done with that one, and then I'm going to switch over to my Christmas all arounds, and I think because I've got hot cocoa in one of them, I think I will use hot cocoa, the mug, for one of them. And just get that pretty much centered. And again, I'm not going to be using that. I'm not going to be using the words because they won't show up anyway. But it would if I completely wrapped around the top of the lid too. So that's an option.
Hi, Lori.
So maybe I'll do that on one of them. Okay.
Christina's
And
here.
let's do the Christmas tree.
So Christina says I'm going to use the M&Ms for my Dirty Santa gift
Uh-oh.
with a gift card, so no one will know, and I'm sure it'll be the last one picked that way.
Oh.
Just a jar of M's.
Use the really cruddy
Oh,
M&Ms.
thanks, Lori.
Use the generic M&Ms and nobody would want it. Okay.
It's cold.
Okay, now let's see. Colors. Mostly I think I'm just gonna do the white. Oh, I might do some silver. I think I might do some silver and some white.
All these decisions.
I know. I'm not making you guys decide tonight. I'm just going with it.
Imagine
Okay.
that.
Because I know good and well, if you were doing this, you'd pick whatever you wanted. Okay.
So you're going to pick whatever you want.
So I'm going to pick what I want.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my silver. And again, I'm using our Chalkology ink. And I'm going to heat set it so that it's permanent. So if these happen to get wet, it's not gonna melt and bleed all over.
Yeah, Lori, that's exactly what I did. I was on my phone, and Facebook says, "Here's 200 stars," so I gave them to me. But we appreciate it.
Oh, did
Thank
we
you.
get stars? Thank you.
Yeah, Lori sent stars.
Thank you so much.
It doesn't matter
Okay.
if you guys paid for it or not. We love it.
Yeah. It's the thought that counts, right?
That's what I was told growing up. It's the thought that counts.
Okay. So
That's
you
what I used to say.
use the ink just the same as the paste, but you heat set it differently. Okay, and let's see. I think I'm gonna do the tree in silver.
You had a silver tree growing up.
I did silver and blue, silver and light blue,
Light blue.
turquoisey,
Yeah,
light
your mom
blue.
loved that color. Your mom
Yes.
loved turquoise all the way around.
Silver tinsel tree. Can you guys top that? Silver tinsel tree with light blue turquoise-ish
Yeah,
ornaments
but
and
did you
silver.
have the color wheel?
We had
You
the
know,
color
go
wheel,
around real-
and we were ultra fancy, which is where I'm sure I got it from, is we had the rotating base.
Oh, wow. You were special.
We were.
We didn't have that. Of course, I bought when I was in high school. I had my first job. I was working at the print shop, and I bought our first Christmas live
Christmas
Well,
tree?
it wasn't live when we cut it down, but first real Christmas tree. Up to that time, we had a plastic thing that you look at and you go, "Well, it's green,"
Was it green?
and then, well, it was green plastic, and then we had the silver one.
That's all right. We loved it. And we survived.
Lana says the color wheel was so awesome. I wanted it one so bad. You know what? I don't think we got one until the Hodges gave us their old one. I think is how it worked out. I don't remember. One of our
Okay.
neighbors gave us one. They probably were just taking pity on us.
Yeah, those poor Bourbonnais.
Well, Dad didn't believe in
Yeah, you were-
decorating. He didn't believe in like putting up Christmas lights or something.
Oh, and we had blue and green Christmas lights. Straight strings, blue and green.
Now that completely changed because by the time I got into your life, your mom used to say, "If you don't put it up, you don't have
Well,
to take it
she
down."
didn't put them up. My dad did.
Oh, okay.
And I think they only did that because of us kids. Okay, so are you showing? Okay, so I'm peeling this up. And look how fancy. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I'm going to spray those so the ink doesn't dry in the screen. And then I think I'm going to do these just in white. Now you could do them in all different colors. But I really like that contrast on the solid color with the white. I'm kind of liking that this year. Okay, so I've got my white ink.
Can I apprenticed at a print shop, and that's where I was my first job. I was there about a year. I apprenticed at a place called The Print Shop. Guy named John Dibble is an old Navy guy. Ran it. Liana says they both turned out real pretty. Yes, they did.
Okay,
The
so
print shop was over on Elizabeth Street,
I'm
and
just gonna
then
do this
it
one.
moved, let's see, probably in 80. I'm going to guess about 1980, it moved to what used to be an old 7-Eleven over, what's the name of that street? It was,
Downtown by the grinder place.
yeah,
Is it Tekaskeet?
that probably
Wong
was
Way or
Wong. It might have been Wong Way. It might have been where what is now be called Wong Way.
It might not be Wong Way anymore. That might be politically incorrect.
No, it was Mr. Wong that built Chinatown.
Okay, so I went ahead and I did the entire thing because I'll show you how you can, if you don't have the canning jar lids, you can still
Use it.
do this. Okay, so
You check your fingers.
checking my fingers. I've got some ink on them. I don't want to get ink where I don't want to get ink. Does that make sense?
Mm-mm.
Okay, and
Explain it to me.
so I'm going to peel that up.
That's
Pretty,
just beautiful.
pretty. And this one. Hot cocoa.
Nice, nice,
Okay.
nice.
Spray, spray, spray. Okay. And there we go. We've got
Now, how
them
you
inked.
gonna heat them?
So,
Hold on,
I
hold
know,
on.
I
I'll
gotta do
shift
this
it
way.
around. I'll shift it around again.
Am I upside down? Upside down to
Now
here.
you got it upside down.
Let me
There you
fix
go.
that. Okay, so you can see these ones are white, and then these ones are silver
Yep.
shimmer. So I don't know if that shows very well. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry for just a second, and while I do that, I'm going to show you how I clean my transfers.
And it said, so festive.
These transfers,
Maybe that ought to be my new
so
line.
festive instead of that so
Festive.
cute.
Well, we're gonna be doing a lot of Christmas stuff, I'm assuming.
We will. Train of thought, just
Derailed.
derailed. Oh, our transfers are reusable, guaranteed 10 to 12 times, and you can get more use out of them if you take really good care of them. And that means cleaning them up relatively quickly. You don't want that paste or ink to dry in the screen. So I'm starting out with just water, and I'm starting out with on the top side with just a paper towel. And I'm doing that to just get as much of that ink and paste or whatever is on it off. And then I'm going to pull out my board eraser, which is Basically a magic eraser with no chemicals. And I'm going to use this. These work wonderful on our transfers. And you can see this is kind of stained. Some of our inks and pastes are highly pigmented, and it will stain the fabric-y part of this transfer. But as long as it is not clogging the screen, that makes absolutely no difference on how well they work. They just kind of look a little funky, but they still do the job. Okay, so I'm going to turn them over. Now, because I did this on fabric, I didn't fuzz these. Sometimes you see me fuzzing things. I didn't do that because it was going down on fabric.
Hi, Becky.
Hey, Becky.
She's watching the 49ers game.
Oh yeah, I saw your
Which way
post.
is it going? How's that game running right now? She says she loves these jar tops. So.
Yeah. Okay, so
to recap what we're doing, we're making jar tops for gifts. So you can pack a gift in a jar as a gift, for Christmas or for people at work or whatever. And it's actually year round, but this is just a way to dress up the lids.
I've seen these used as like baby shower, wedding shower, gift favors. Okay, so those are clean. I'm gonna just let it air dry, the sticky side up, and then I'll put my backer sheet back on them and then store them away, and they're ready to use the next time. So that's all there is to cleaning. It's probably easier to just take them to the sink, and you could even just rub them off with your finger and water. You don't need any chemicals. You don't need any soap. They clean up perfectly with just water. And I'm going to take these off. And ordinarily we would say let the ink dry on its own before you heat set it. And that would be like a minimum of an hour. Sometimes we just say let it sit overnight and then heat set it in the morning. But you don't want to come back in the morning. You don't want to stay here and listen to me talk all night long. So I'm gonna speed up the process. I'm going to use my little drying tool and just get these dry to the touch, and then we'll go ahead and heat set them.
So Alana wanted to know, how do I always know her tone of voice when I say, when you love somebody, you know a lot about them. So there you go. And Ken echoed my amen. Yes! It wasn't completely lost. Still sticky. Are you still sticky?
Okay, so like I said, we're dolling these up with our transfers because they're so cute. But if you didn't have them, you could just use pretty fabric, and that would be adorable too.
Fabric with candy canes on
Candy canes or snowmen or Christmas trees or whatever, depending on the occasion. Now these I could see these at your Thanksgiving table if you're hosting, having a little goodie jar for all of your guests to take home.
A goodie jar.
Or something maybe even to entertain the children. You could stick crayons and whatnot in there, so you give them something to do while they're sitting at the table when all the adults are yapping.
Santa's on them. Yep, that would work.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to get out my heat pad.
So apparently you had something set up for Santa.
Probably, yes, that was an old one.
That was an old one. Cheryl typed in Santa and it popped up.
You win the Santa prize, I guess.
Okay, how did you display the Christmas tree cutout that you had green on one side and 3 words on the other? I'm trying to remember which one that was.
The Christmas tree
Christmas tree cutout.
Green on one side and three words on it. Um, these Christmas tree cutouts or something else? I'm not sure. Tell me more. Tell me more. Christmas tree cutouts. I'm drawing a blank here. Okay, so now I'm looking for my parchment paper. So to heat set these.
Oh, is she talking about the wood one with the blue and silver?
I don't know. She said with green on one side and 3 words on the other.
Words on the other?
Yeah, but not
Hold
3
on.
words and one.
Hold on, Duke. Let's get this
2 of
one.
them are right there.
Yeah, you've got them right
One's
here.
there, one's there. So I don't know if those are what I would call the tree cutouts.
Are we talking about that one? With that? And then the other one, we just have them on display here. There's
Yeah, I'm not
there's
sure
a
if
whole
that's.
lot of stuff on display here.
I'm not sure if that's what you meant. Okay, to heat set these, I could do it with no, the one with, oh, the hole at the bottom that has the cutting board. That is. It be,
I don't know.
It's in that bottom plate.
Oh,
The cutting board. The cutting board.
We should
How
do
did
too
I
much of
display
this
it?
stuff.
I just kind of didn't display it.
I'll be home for Christmas.
It was
and
it was
had
kind of propped up.
Here, peace,
Oh,
and
that's
be merry
right.
on
I
the back.
forgot I put that on the back. Yeah. I
Being
saw
a cutting board.
somebody.
Being a cutting board, you just left it flat.
No, because it doesn't.
It doesn't stand.
It's got a round bottom. So I did just
People
kind
I
of
know
have.
have
I
round
did
bottoms.
just kind of have it leaned up against something, and every once in a while it would topple over. But... Okay. Heat setting. I could do it with a Cricut Easy Press or even one of those big clamshell heat presses at 350 degrees for 30 seconds, or I can do it with a household iron. So I'm going to show you how to do that because I don't want to drag the Easy Press over here. And these are kind of small.
Brandy
So-
says hello.
Hello, Brandy. Oh, my old friend Brandy.
Yes.
How's everything going, Brandy? Okay, so I have this at medium high. I don't want it screaming hot because I could actually scorch the ink if it's too hot. And when I'm using a household iron, they generally have holes for steam. You don't want any steam. You don't want any water in this. You don't want any steam. But because of those holes, if you hold it still, it will kind of leave that impression of those holes, and you don't want that embedded in your fabric. So you keep the iron moving, and you don't need a lot of pressure. You just kind of need the heat, and you just go over it for about 4 minutes to set that ink.
What do you mean, men? Give me a break.
No, men.
Oh, men. I
Men.
thought you were
Men.
making. Oh my goodness. There you
Oh,
go.
well,
I
it is
said-
November. You have next week off, right? You can look forward to that. Yeah, I think of you guys. I see your pictures and I think, who are those new people? And then I say, oh, look at Brandy, look at Art. And
I keep up with my
Everybody.
teachers at Canyon. It's been fun to see some of them. They've had some really neat things going. Scarlett has had barbershop quartet show up, professional barbershop quartet show up at her class for choir and stuff. And they've been doing some really neat stuff there. Anyway, yeah, I like keeping up with them too, and I like saying, I don't have to answer the alarm clock.
Leanna said, man, you live vicariously through me. Oh, you poor thing. You got to get a life. Okay, so while I'm doing this, since it's kind of relaxing.
Is that
Maybe
what it
not
is?
for you, but it's kind of gliding it on this parchment paper, not wax paper. Kind of relaxing. If you are interested in these transfers or any of the supplies we're using tonight, you can comment the word
best
jar in the comments, and my bot will send you a cart link to the 2 transfers and squeegees and board erasers, and you can take a look at that. Also included in there is a link to my one of my Pinterest boards of, I think it took me about 10 minutes, and I found, I just picked like 40 different ideas for gifts in a jar. So if you click on that link, it will take you to my Pinterest board, and you can take a look at all of those. A lot of them come with printable recipes or instructions for whatever you put in the jar. So go take a look at that. Again, just by typing jar in the comments, you'll get both the cart link, and you'll also get the link to the Pinterest board. So lots of ideas. There's soups in a jar. There's Russian tea in a jar. There's brownies in a jar. There is banana bread in a jar. You name it, in a jar. And if you don't want to look at mine, just go on to Pinterest and type in gifts in a jar or cookies in a jar, and you'll be overwhelmed.
Huh.
Okay.
Cheryl typed it in.
Okay.
Barbara typed it in.
Okay.
The bot's
Okay.
not responding.
Well, because
there it goes.
Cheryl already typed in a
That's
word.
right. Cheryl already
Yeah,
typed
Cheryl
in something.
accidentally typed in Santa. So Cheryl, I will send you after the live. I will send you the link, because my bot only, I don't know why, it only responds to the first keyword that you type, and then so I will go through and I'll make sure you get that. And it looks like Barbara got the message from Messenger.
So it seems
Okay.
to be working.
Okay, so these are all heat set. I could toss these in the washer and they would come out just fine. They are permanent. So let me show you what you can do. Now, if you use the mason jars, you leave this little lid on, and then you just center that and
In the ring.
on the ring and screw it down. And cute, right? And let's see. This one, actually, the hot cocoa I actually put in a small. Okay, so what you could do is, if you didn't have a mason jar, you could not separate these. You could just have whatever jar you had, and you might want it a little bit longer, but you could just tie a ribbon around the outside to do that. Does that make sense? So you wouldn't be doing it with the jar. You would just do it with the jar. And you know what? I'm going to, there's rubber band.
I think our video is having a frame rate problem, but the rest of it seems to be running right tonight. So
Okay. So I'm going to
It's been
keep
one
that
of
on the
those
bigger
things.
jar. So if you don't use these are kind of handy, but if you don't use those, I would take a rubber band to kind of get it all down nice and snug to where you like it.
apparently Duke has had enough.
And then,
Not getting any snackos. He's leaving.
you get out your ribbons or whatever you have.
That needs a contrasting ribbon.
Okay, so I've got this big green one, and I've got some twine.
You know what? We got some wind blowing tonight.
Okay, so this one I'm going to use.
Alana says she loves the hot cocoa mug. Yeah, it's a good design.
Yep. I purposely did the full design because I wanted to show you how if you don't use the mason jars, you could just use any jar and any lid. You just kind of fold that over the side. And then you take, that's not super high contrast.
Yeah, you're just showing an idea anyway.
Yeah. You know
People
what?
are gonna make their own.
I'm gonna use, this is some like white jute. So I'm just gonna do it.
It's not
I'm just
yarn.
gonna
Oh,
do-
it's jute,
no,
isn't
it's
it?
jute. So I'm going to.
Hey, Ken, do you use Pinterest? There's some people that still don't use Pinterest. I use Pinterest.
You didn't use it for the longest time until I
didn't.
showed it to you.
And all of a sudden, I found out that it is one of the best database managers. You can look up anything on Pinterest. I mean, anything. I think the first thing I used it for was my Beretta M9. And all of a sudden, I'm finding all kinds of things on Pinterest.
Sadly, it seems like it has gotten very commercial.
Yeah,
it used to just be people's ideas and crafts and recipes, and now there's a ton of stuff for sale. So I've got the rubber band just kind of holding it in place. I could pull that rubber band off, and well, I guess I can show you that way. So just a cute little.
You want to see it from the front? Let's show it from the front. Here we go.
Push that down.
There you go.
So there's your little mug. There's just a simple little bow. You could attach jingle bells. You could attach evergreens or poinsettias or something, and you would
it
want.
It can even be the little bling bling things you took off that necklace.
Sure.
Yeah,
beads or something. And don't forget, if it's something that they're going to need to add some ingredients or know how to mix it up, you're going to want to have a little tag or a card that gives them the instructions. Okay, and again, I tried to pick a lot of those Pinterest ideas that came with a free printable. So have at it. Go crazy. Go crazy, go nuts.
Cheryl says very cute.
And then this one.
Diana says those turned out great.
Let's do this
Something
one with
disappeared off mine.
Let's do this one with our red and white gingham. Just a simple little bow.
Leanna typed in jar. Thank you.
Cute, cute, cute. There we go. Okay, little gift tag. Remember, this is the secret. If you weren't watching earlier, this one is the secret. It's got an empty toilet paper roll in there, so you could stuff in some cash or a gift card or a diamond engagement ring.
Oh,
or
wait
something.
a minute. No. Don't be going down that road.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? She doesn't know.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, so hopefully I gave you some gift ideas that are pretty reasonably priced. A lot, the ingredients for chocolate chip cookies.
Great.
Basically, it's flour and sugar and brown sugar and baking soda and salt and chocolate chips and what I like is a lot of the cookie in a jar recipes come for like quart jars, and that could get pricey, filling up a quart jar for a bunch of people. But this one had a recipe already pared down for a pint jar, and I think she said it makes like 8 to 10 cookies, which is perfect for just a little gift. So cute, cute, cute. Okay, let's see.
It's a diet.
It's a diet.
It's a diet gift in a jar.
Diet gift.
Because it only does 10 cookies.
Okay, there you go. Can only eat 10 at a time, huh?
And I'm surprised at how much I use the jars too.
Now, something else you could do, I'm not going to do it tonight. Some of the mason jars have designs on both sides, but some of them are flat. You could easily take those same transfers, and do them on the side of the jar with paste. You could also do it with ink. You'd have to heat set it if you did ink, but to heat set a glass jar, you would put it in a cold oven and turn it up to 350, wait till it gets to temperature, and then snug. Okay. Wait till it gets to temperature, and then set a timer for about 45 minutes. And when the timer goes off, turn off the oven, but leave the jar inside and let the oven come back down to cool. So from cool oven to cool oven, and then in the middle 45 minutes at 350, and then your ink will be heat set on glass. Okay. So cute little Noel, put a little bow on that, and you take your peach jam.
Oh, on that.
Take your peach
I'm
jam.
making fun of my wife tonight.
And
my wife.
And you've got gifts ready to go. These would be awesome for the mailman, the UPS man, the paper boy if you still have a paper boy, your doctors, those gifts for those people that show up at your house unexpectedly and you feel like, oh, I need to have something. You could have these on hand.
They bring it for you and you go,
Oh, I forgot. I didn't get you
Oh,
anything. It's like,
okay.
no, you go into your gift closet and you pull out one of your jars. So I want to know what you bake once you make some, whether you use the stencils or not. I want you to use the idea, make you some gifts in a jar. See, check that Pinterest page. Get some ideas.
Your therapist, yes, that's the right
yes,
person.
your therapist.
Alana will take them all.
Okay, so that was tonight's craft. It wasn't originally tonight's craft, but it became tonight's craft because again, I just wasn't feeling the other one. So someday we'll do the other one because it is a cute one. Okay, I'm clearing off my table. Nobody asked, did they? Okay.
So 3 nights away.
Nobody asked. Thursday night, our VIP group is having a free bingo night at 6 p.m. So you have to be in the VIP group to be eligible to play. So if you're not, get yourself over there to the VIP group. I believe it's on the pinned comment, there's a link to it. It's absolutely free to join. It's no obligation. It's my private page, so you have to be approved to get into it, but it's where I can offer deals and specials and sales and giveaways where I can't do that on my public page. So that's the difference. And we reached 100 members last week, so we decided to celebrate with bingo. The bingo is going to be free this time around. We may do some paid bingo in the future, but it's free to play this time. I've got to decide on I've got a bunch of prizes that I could use. I got to narrow it down to which ones, and so we'll have fun. We'll play for however long it takes to maybe play 3 games. And we'll have a good time. So there's a Google form that you need to fill out so I get your email so I know where to send your e-card, your e-bingo card to. So you don't want to miss that Thursday night. Don't wait too long. I'll probably send out the bingo cards on Wednesday so you can kind of play around with them. And if you want to print them out, you have some time to do that. You don't have to, though. You can play with them electronically. Isn't that right?
He's coming over. Time to say goodnight.
Okay. So we will be back on again tomorrow night and at 6 o'clock Pacific time. And then Wednesday morning, I will be going on. Are you sniffing?
He wants some M's.
You want the M&Ms?
No chocolate.
I can put dog bones in there. Put dog bones in there.
No chocolate for Duke.
So Wednesday morning, our live will get shared into Craft Round the Clock. And they are having a holiday cooking week. So we will actually be in the kitchen baking one of my cooking one of my favorite recipes for the holidays. It honestly does get requested. Well, it used to back in Southern California.
Oh, it gets requested by me.
Yeah, it definitely gets requested by him and our own children. So that'll be Wednesday morning, but Tuesday night we'll be here. Wednesday morning we'll be here. I think that's it. If you have, today is the start of week 3 of Chalk Couture's Black Friday deals. And this week they've got a boatload of B-size transfers, which are this size, the 8.5 by 11. and they are 40% off. And it's not just, it's a lot of the retired ones that they have a few left in stock, but not enough to keep on their website. So they brought the good ones out, not just the junky ones that nobody wants. They brought out some of the really popular, some of them are already sold out. So if you type deal in the comments, you'll get a link to what's on sale at 40% off this week. So it's an awesome opportunity to get you some transfers, and there's some Christmas ones, and there's some year-round ones, and so take a look and see what's on sale. I think that's it.
Is that it?
Okay.
Did you
I
get
think
it all?
so. I think so. So we are going to say goodbye, but we're not going to stop the video right away because we're going to pose for our picture.
After the goodbye.
But we're doing the goodbye so that, because he's transferring all of our videos to YouTube, and YouTube doesn't care about comments and whatnot. So we're doing it so he can end the video at the goodbye, but then I can continue to get the...
Now, how am I going to edit all that explanation out?
Okay, well, can't you slice parts out?
Oh, you'd be surprised what I can do.
Anyway, so thanks for spending time with us.
wait a
If you're not following us,
Hold on, I
please
got one
do
more thing to
so.
do. Hold on.
One more thing.
We'll go to
He
this.
says one more thing.
Now you say goodbye.
Now that Raincross Farms Makery is up there, I'm gonna move this out of the way. Now I say goodbye. Say goodbye, Duke. Look, say goodbye.
That's a good boy.
Who am I saying goodbye to? Okay, see you tomorrow.